My fellow black people, I'm just kidding. No, there are plenty of white people here and people from other places. Matter of fact, some of your worst enemies are people that look just like you. How about that? You know that. What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much for stopping by. You are appreciated. My name is Zack. This is your first time. You're very welcome. This is home for a lot of people. Okay, you want to know about the motherland? You are at the right place. Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, South Africa, Nigeria. Nigeria and South Africa don't like it when you talk about them. They get very upset, very touchy. Talk about your country. Why you don't talk about your country? You always talk about my country. Why everyone want to talk about my country? Somebody has to talk about your country, brother. You don't say nothing to CNN like when they talk about your country. You have no problem with that. And Nigerians will tell you, you be mumu, this guy be mumu when you talk about all the drugs and the stuff with it. South Africans hate it when you talk about xenophobia. Get pissed off, bad, angry. This man, he lives in South Africa. And some of them even think that everybody on YouTube lives in South Africa. It's just crazy. Like if you talk about South Africa on TikTok, South Africans think you live. TikTok is in South Africa. YouTube, everybody that talks online is in South Africa. It's crazy. But the good thing is not everybody. It's just a bunch of people, just one group of people. They're specifically those xenophobic ones. You know, xenophobic people don't like it when you talk about xenophobia. They hate it. Just same as drug dealers. They hate it when you talk about drugs. They don't like it. You say, why are you generalizing it? Why are you getting touched, my brother? I mean, I'm not talking about you because you're not involved, right? If you're not involved, why are you getting upset? Why are you upset? We're talking about thieves and you're getting upset. Why are you getting upset? We're talking about thieves. You're not supposed to be a thief. Unless you are, or maybe your cousin is a drug dealer or human trafficker. Anyway, in the meantime, we talk about Namibia, Botswana, no problem. Ghana, you name it, we talk about it. We even talk about the African-American community and the Caribbeans. Thank you very much. Pick up my coffee for yourself, for being here in the rendezvous. Every single day you want to see us, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you name it. You're going to find us here many times a day. Before we start, can I ask you to do this? Please do this. It costs you nothing. It makes us feel appreciated. It's done. Thank you. Today we are in Tanzania, my brother. Do you know Tanzania? This is Tanzania. Beautiful place, lovely people. I have some of the best time ever. You want to go to Africa and have a good time? Tanzania is one of the places. I'm telling you. I'm not biased. I'm always going to tell you the truth. That's why some people don't like me, because I always tell the truth. Anyway, let's continue. Tanzania has signed a big contract with the Russians. Congratulations to them. Piga Makofi. It's a massive project about uranium. Piga Makofi. Yeah. Piga Makofi is clap your hand in Swahili. Swahili is the most spoken language in Africa. Yeah, you see all these countries here? You're looking at Congo, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania. They speak Swahili. Obviously, the Swahilis are not Swahiliing the same way, you know? But they can understand each other with a little bit of patience, no problem. It's a beautiful culture. Great people. You're always going to have a good time in East Africa. No doubt about it. Anyway, let's get back to Tanzania. Now, Tanzania signed a massive contract with Russia in developing a processing plant for uranium. Congratulations to them.
We have jointly achieved a lot during past few years in various fields. To promote our bilateral trade and economic cooperation, Russia and Tanzania set up the Intergovernmental Commission on Trade and Economic Cooperation. The Commission has already had two very successful sessions devoted to a wide range of issues of mutual interest, including investment, trade, logistics, transport, energy, agriculture, tourism, and education. I am particularly happy to announce today that for the educational year of 2025-2026, the Russian government decided to increase the number of scholarships granted to Tanzanian youth from 90 to 150. Ladies and gentlemen, launching the pilot plant for the uranium project is a great continuation of our joint efforts to facilitate further cooperation. To start with, the role of uranium in the world's energy balance, especially in the context of the transition to more environmentally friendly energy sources, is riding steadily.
This is great. I mean, uranium is one of the most scarce minerals you can find in the world. Uranium is very necessary. What is uranium used for? You can use uranium to create nuclear energy. I know nuclear is very complicated, but basically you can create electricity. Do you know that? Yeah. I mean, you know Niger. This is Niger on the map. Niger produces uranium, and for many years, the Nigerian uranium was used by French. They bought exclusively the uranium from Niger, exported it to France, and created electricity. They made so much electricity, they started selling electricity to other European countries. In the meantime, people from Niger were in the dark. Now, Tanzania also has uranium. DRC, this country here, where people love dancing, they dance so much. Nothing else besides dance. They dance, church, dance, church. They hate war. Men don't like going to war. They're too scared. They just want to dance. And anyway, you never have a problem with DRC people. They just want to dance. They don't do drugs, human trafficking, guns. They hate. They just want to leave, drink. Anyway, now before we get back to Tanzania, DRC produced uranium that was useful for the atomic bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Do you know that? Yes. You need uranium to create the atomic bomb. Yes. So the uranium that came from the bomb Americans used in Japan came from this place, Shinkolobwe, in the DRC. Well, up until now, unfortunately, DRC people, or else call them Congolese, have done absolutely nothing with the uranium they've been blessed with. Anyway, let's get back to Tanzania. Now, Tanzania has seized this opportunity because, people are the same, but they're not the same. Sorry, people look similar, but they're not necessarily similar here. So Tanzania is doing something great right now with the uranium. They've signed a massive contract with the Russians. They're going to benefit financially and socially. We're going to find out about this now. So you certainly want to understand the project. Usually we say they signed a contract. You don't understand what the contract is all about. We're going to go from a general perspective of a contract and explain to you exactly what's happening. Russia is the lead developer, investor, and technical operator. So basically, they're going to provide capital, technical expertise, engineering, project management of the uranium site. Yes, brother, you want to find out, what is Tanzania gaining? Is Russia running these plants or what? What's happening really? Yes, my brothers, the pilot uranium processing plant launched in July 2025 is designed, funded, and operated by the Russians. So the Russians are coming, they are bringing all the stuff that they need, like technical stuff, intelligentsia, expertise, the fund. So you have the uranium and the good. We're coming to your country because you have the good. So you ain't gotta spend no money, my brother. We're gonna spend the Russian money on your project in your country. How are you gonna gain? We're gonna find out about that. Well, not directly. Russia is not directly paying Tanzania to do this. Russia instead is investing an estimated $1.2 billion in Tanzania for this specific project. Pick up my coffee, my brother, because you're getting jobs and stuff. And we're going to find out how Tanzanian, normal Tanzanian people are going to gain out of this. Yes, Russia is supplying specialized uranium mining processing equipment. They are coming with the stuff. Okay, they are bringing the stuff. The Russians, they're doing things exactly the opposite of what Europeans do. Europeans came and they forced you. Let's not talk about Europeans right now. So the Russians are also bringing safety systems and radiation monitoring tech. Remember, uranium is not a playful mineral. This is a very dangerous mineral. This is what you need to enrich to get to the atomic bomb. It does have reactions, such as radiation. That's very, very dangerous. Actually, uranium is also used for medical purpose, like treating cancer and some other things. And also space work, So the Russians are indeed bringing engineers, teams, and skilled specialists, but they're also going to train Tanzanians on how to maintain and eventually operate the equipment totally by themselves. Pick up my coffee. Yeah, baby, pick up my coffee. So my Tanzanian brothers are going to learn how to do this. This is amazing. Now, how is Tanzania going to win from this? We see all these contracts being signed. How is practically the Tanzanian people gaining from this contract? So Tanzania expects to earn about $1.2 billion through royalties, corporate taxes, and dividends over a lifespan of the Mjuku River project. So basically, Tanzania is going to get royalties. So you bring the project, you bring the fund. Number one, we set our own price, okay? How much percentage we're getting out of this. Then, on your benefit, we have a percentage of 30% at least. So we set our percentage, which is generally between 3 to 6% from the money you're bringing. Then we have another percentage we're going to set on your benefit, okay? Once you've processed, you've sold, your benefit, we want 30% of it. Tanzania expects to create at least 4,000 direct jobs and 100,000+ indirect jobs. 4,000 jobs in the mine and 100,000 jobs indirectly. And we're talking about food, logistics, assistance, administrative work. When there's a big company operating in a corner, you need things, you need many services. We need new clothes, we need toilet paper, we need soap, all that stuff accumulating to 100,000 different jobs are going to be created in Tanzania soon. Tanzania is also winning through industrial development, my brother. So basically, uranium will be processed locally in Tanzania, my brother, creating skills, technology transfer, and higher margin. So congratulations. So unlike many African countries where, European come to exploit, they will take the goods to Europe, the raw stuff, the raw timber. I mean, Gabon and Cameroon have a lot of timber, massive timber, big wood. What timber is wood. They will take the wood, put it on ships, and send it to Europe or Dubai. Then the very timber they send to Europe and Dubai is transformed into furniture. Then the Cameroonians will buy the furniture from people from Dubai at a very expensive price. Did you hear that? They take the timber from Cameroon, put it in the water, or put it in the ship, goes to Europe. The Europeans and the Dubai people transform the timber into furniture. Then they rush going to buy the very same timber instead of developing on board. Same with cocoa. You know what cocoa is? This is cocoa. Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire has the most cocoa, the two countries with the most cocoa in the world. What do you need cocoa for? You need cocoa to create chocolate. Now, it's just recently they've tried to have industries to actually process the cocoa. But in most cases, especially for Cote d'Ivoire, the cocoa had to be sent to France. That's the boss. African countries have bosses. The bosses are usually the colonizers. Yeah. And usually presidents, especially in the French region, you can't be president if you have bad relationship with France. You're probably going to get overtaken and overthrown. Yes, that's how it works. It's been like that since 1960s. Those people are not very much free. I'm sorry. Do you know that? Do you know that the French countries, all these countries here, they still use a monetary fund currency that is printed in France by a former colonial power? And it's crazy because they've installed so many things in their brains that people that come from French-speaking countries, the better you speak French, the smarter they think you are. It's not even about speaking French well. It's about having the accent of the French person. So if you sound je ne sais quoi like a real French person, they perceive you as very smart. So to them, concept of a stupid Frenchman born in France speaking French properly doesn't exist. Anyway, let's get back to Tanzania. Tanzania is going to win through energy and strategic autonomy. The uranium development is part of a broader nuclear energy ambition. Tanzania wants to develop peaceful nuclear power for electricity and medical use, reducing dependency on fossil fuel and foreign electricity export. So this is great. Congratulations to Tanzania for good stuff. We appreciate this. We want to see African countries moving forward. We are tired of poverty. We are tired of crying. Oh, they must say, no, come on, man. Personally, I'm in love with Tanzania. I love Tanzania. I want to see it forward. Anyway, now there's something negative, unfortunately. A Ugandan minister criticized Tanzania for recent decision to ban foreigners from operating in certain small business area. So basically, a couple of days ago, Tanzanian minister decided that foreign nationals could not operate in Tanzania anymore. In small businesses, barber shops, selling airtime, money transfer through cell phones. In Africa, you can send money through cell phones. Yeah, you can. Okay, let me explain to you very quickly. So not everybody in Africa has a bank account because not everybody has a bank account. Some people live in rural areas next to the village or in the village. So maybe your cousin is in a village and she needs money and she doesn't have a bank account. You don't have to get her to open a bank account. What you got to do is somebody smart found that you could use a cell phone, your cell phone, credit your cell phone with money and send that money to a number. And with that specific number you're sending the money to, they can go to an office and they will give them money equivalent to the funds that you've sent them. Literally like an app, like I'm sending you $100. You see $100 and you go to whatever office, they give you $100. So a lot of people do it because there's some benefit, you get some benefit out of it. We're probably going to explain some of the time. So these small businesses, many foreigners do it in Tanzania, including Chinese and Pakistanis and Indians. So initially people thought that this law came to stop or slow down the Chinese and the Pakistanis that are coming, doing and operating very small scale businesses, to which I believe, or many people believe, should be allocated to, locals. At least they found out also that it was not just about the Chinese and the Pakistanis, like cell phone repair, that's also only Tanzanians can do that. Now, the catch is what? There's a catch. You see on the map? This is the East African community. You can see that. It's the DRC, Rwanda, Burundi, Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya, and some other countries, I think South Sudan. They're all part of the East African community. Now, what is the East African community? It's something they created many years ago, started a long time ago, then refreshed in 2000. The goal was to get African people to work as a federation, integrate human population in a way that they can go to the next country and operate. They can leave, they can study, they can legally open a business and leave. Basically do like Europe. That's what makes you powerful. And the United States of America, for that matter. In other words, bringing Africans together, starting by East Africa. You know what I'm saying? But with that, it was very simple. It's saying you're opening a big market for everybody. So a Tanzanian person could go to Kenya and sell things with no problem, without being asked where's your papers, where are your identification, what. You considered as a local. Same for a Kenyan going to Rwanda, same for a Rwandan going to Tanzania and stuff like that. Now, this decision is not necessarily from the president. It's a decision from a minister. Now, the ministers of other countries are asking questions like, we have our people living in your country. They are Ugandans. We have our people in your country. They are Kenyans. Now, what's going to happen? Do you want them out? How are they going to survive? Some of our people have been there for a long time because we have this policy. We've signed papers saying that we can integrate our countries and be in peace. Now, when you're saying that it's only reserved, these jobs are only reserved to Kenyans, what are you trying to do? This is counterproductive. Like, where are we going forward? Are we going backward? So the Ugandan minister has asked questions. They want to understand what's happening. There are potential consequences. The consequences, the ban could lead to a retaliatory measure from other EAC countries and could disrupt the movement of goods and people within the region. That's what it is. I mean, what happens is when you do something to somebody, they will try to do it back to you. Is this productive? I don't know. I really hope this whole measure is limited to Chinese and, Taiwan. There's no Taiwanese. All those people, Pakistanis and stuff. I really hope so. Why? Because I'm African and I firmly believe you cannot go to India and open a business as an African. They will beat the crap out of you and throw you in jail. You can't do that in China. I'm probably going to chop your fingers or something. So let's be nice to each other. We already know we don't do crime with one another. We already know that. The problems you see in South Africa with Zimbabweans, and it's not what happened in East Africa because they don't have that criminality and attitude of doing crime and car haste. Did you know that in South Africa, people run after cars? Cash vans? You know what a cash van is? These are these cars that have money inside. They transfer money from businesses to the bank, like cash. Yes. Do you know those cars are attacked in South Africa? And I know South Africans watch this as a surprise, because for them it's normal. It's every day. There's cash haste, cash every day. But in the rest of Africa, you will never see that. Those cars don't even need bodyguard. They don't need bodyguard. Only the driver with no gun. He travels with it. In some places, you may see one or two. Yeah, it's usually by itself. That shows you the mentality is different, The mentality of people in Southern Africa when it comes to violence is different compared to those in East Africa. And don't take it wrong. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm informing you. Don't be angry. The goal is to come together. The goal for me would be a lot of people in Southern Africa, when it comes to peacefulness, rightfulness, should be like East Africans, And I'm talking about not trying to shoot people everywhere. I mean, the bottom line is when you're looking for countries which are the most dangerous, cities that are the most dangerous in the world, you'll find Johannesburg, you'll find Durban, you'll find Cape Town. Those are 3 cities in one country. Not Kenya, not Tanzania, not Kigali, not Burundi. Anyway, let me know how you feel about this. We still love our South Africans. They're amazing people. They hit you with my piano. And those Xhosa ladies, Xhosa ladies are Xhosa ladies. They're the favorite. Nigerians love them. They have big nyash. And also they do good in life. When they leave their families, they go look for money. Those women don't play. If you broke, my brother, you ain't seeing no nyash. Oh, before you leave, drop a comment. We want you to drop a comment so we can make this much bigger, We have to move forward. We can't be struggling. And also YouTube say a lot of you guys watch videos, but you're not subscribed. And I don't know why you're not subscribed. I'm still asking myself. Please do subscribe. Thank you very much for the people that are part of our private groups. We appreciate you. We don't say it enough, but I want you to know we do appreciate you. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for being here. Thank you for pushing the van. That is heavy. God bless.